Welcome back to our channel. Before we dive into yet another fascinating and mysterious stories, I would like to invite you to watch, to like, and subscribe to the channel. Also activate the notification sound. Today, we explore a unique story of the forgotten goddess of the Bible, the Bible. Foundation of Western faith. But what if it holds a secret, a truth buried beneath layers of translation? A truth so shocking it could rewrite history. A truth about a dark goddess who reigned supreme before time began. We journey back to the very beginning, not to the Garden of Eden, but to the primordial chaos of Orphic mythology. From the cosmic egg emerged PHANES. The Golden One, the first king, radiant with light and the power of creation. But Phane's reign was not to last. From him sprang Nyx, his daughter, the embodiment of night, a figure shrouded in mystery. She inherited the throne, a dark queen in an ancient universe, and God called the light day. And the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament MENT, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good." While Genesis speaks of the separation of light and darkness, the Orphic tradition tells a different tale. Nyx, the dark goddess, reigned supreme. She birthed Gaia, the earth, and Uranus, the sky, establishing the foundations of our world. Phanes then united with his daughter, Nyx, the mother of dreams, and gave her the rulership. He placed in her hands his mighty staff, the scepter of Eric Epas, and bestowed upon her the gift of prophecy. Nyx, the nurse of the gods, made obvious those who were previously concealed. She gave birth to Gaia, whose name means earth, and to Uranus, the limits of the mind, whose name means sky. And she gave the scepter of Phanes to Uranus, and thereby gave him the kingship. Uranus and Gaia united, and this is the first marriage. Nyx, often relegated to the footnotes of mythology, played a pivotal role. She was not merely the absence of light, but a powerful force in her own right, queen, a mother, a prophetess. But why was her story suppressed? Why did the Bible and later traditions choose to focus on the light, casting the darkness aside? To answer that question, we delve deeper into the mysteries of Nyx, uncovering her hidden influence, and seek to restore her rightful place in the story of creation. Nyx, the name itself whispers on the wind, conjuring images of velvet darkness and the infinite expanse of the night sky. But who was this enigmatic goddess, who reigned before the dawn of the world as we know it? Nyx was more than just the absence of light. She was the embodiment of night itself, a primordial force, older than the gods themselves. While the Olympian deities bickered and fought, Nyx remained aloof, a figure of immense power and quiet authority. From the depths of her being, she birthed a host of deities, each embodying an aspect of the night and its mysteries. Sleep, death, dreams, and even strife, all sprang from Nyx, showcasing her dominion over the hidden realms of existence. Hesiod, in his Theogony, paints a vivid picture of Nyx's dwelling, a place loathsome and dank, which even the gods abhor. There she resides in her murky abode, where day and night meet, and pass each other at the threshold. Pindar, another ancient Greek poet, describes the realm of Nyx. As a place where sluggish streams of darksome night belch forth a boundless gloom. But Nyx was not simply a figure of darkness and dread. She was also associated with prophecy and divination, a goddess who held the secrets of the universe within her shadowy embrace. In the Orphic tradition, Nyx was revered as the mother of all creation, the first principle from which all existence sprang. She was the consort of Phan, Es, the primordial god of creation and life. Together, they represented the duality of light and darkness, creation and destruction, order and chaos. But as time passed and new deities rose to prominence, Nyx's role began to diminish. The focus shifted to the Olympian gods, Zeus, Hera, Poseidon, and others. The primordial deities were relegated to the Anctabe background, their stories forgotten, their influence overshadowed, yet traces of Nyx's significance remain in the shadows in the night. In the dreams that visit us as we sleep, she lingers, a reminder of the ancient forces that shaped our world and the mysteries that still lie hidden in the darkness. But why was Nyx's story suppressed? Why did later traditions choose to focus on the light, casting the darkness aside? To understand this, we must look at the evolution of religious thought and the human tendency to fear the unknown. Darkness has always been associated with the unknown, with danger, with death. Light, on the other hand, represents knowledge, safety. Life, as societies evolved, there was a natural inclination to favor the light, to seek knowledge, to conquer the unknown. This bias is evident in many religious traditions where deities of light are revered, while those associated with darkness are demonized. But in doing so, we lose a part of our history, a part of our understanding of the universe. Nyx's story is not one of evil or malevolence, but of balance, of the necessary interplay between light and darkness, creation and destruction, life and death. By acknowledging Nyx. We acknowledge the complexity of existence, the duality that defines our world, and in doing so, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe we inhabit. So, let us not forget Nyx, the dark goddess who reigned before time began. Let us remember her story and the lessons it holds. For, in the darkness, there is wisdom, there is power, there is the potential for new beginnings, and perhaps a deeper connection to the mysteries of the cosmos. As we continue our journey into the depths of ancient mythology, we encounter tales that challenge our perceptions, stories that have been overshadowed by more dominant narratives. Yet these forgotten myths hold profound insights. They reveal the complexities of early belief systems and the intricate tapestry of deities that once commanded reverence. Among these tales, the story of Nyx stands out, a testament to the power of the night and the mysteries it conceals. In the vast expanse of the cosmos, before the Olympian gods claimed their thrones, there existed primordial forces, entities that personified the very elements of existence. Nyx was one such entity, born of chaos. She was the night incarnate, a force that enveloped the world in darkness. Yet from this darkness came light, for Nyx gave birth to Ether, the bright upper air, and Hemera, the goddess of day. Night and day siblings, born from the same mother, bound together in an eternal cycle. From Nyx also came Moros, doom, Thanatos, death, Hypnos, sleep, Onroi, the dreams. Momus, blame, Oises, distress, the Hesperides who guarded the golden apples, the Moirai, the fates, the cares, the spirits of violent death, and Nemesis, divine retribution. Each of these beings carried aspects of the human condition. Each was birthed from the night. From Nyx. She wasn't just a goddess, she was the womb of reality, the source of consequence, reflection, and rest. Think about that, the most vital parts of our lives, death, dreams, destiny, justice, they all come from the night. They all come from Nyx. Yet how many speak her name? How many know her story? Why has she been erased, pushed to the shadows? Because she reminds us of what we try to forget, that we are not in control. That life is not only light, that there is power in what we can't see. The Bible, as we know it, is a story of light. In the beginning, God said, "Let there be light," and from that light came all we know. But light was not the first thing. First was the void. First was the darkness. First was Nyx. Before Genesis, there was chaos. From chaos, Nyx emerged. She did not need to be created. She simply was. The ancients saw her clearly. They wrote of her wisdom, her insight, Her mystery, she did not fight for power. She did not seek the throne, she was the throne. The silent queen of the cosmos. Even Zeus, the king of the Olympians, feared her. It is said that not even he dared to cross Nyx. She held a power older than his, more absolute. She did not thunder, she whispered. She did not rule with spectacle. She ruled with presence and prophecy. Nyx had the gift of foresight. She spoke not often, but when she did, it shaped the course of gods and mortals alike. She lived in a cave at the edge of the world, a place of twilight where night met day. She watched, she dreamed, she revealed, and she waited. Why did we stop listening? Why did we stop honoring the night? Maybe because night is too honest. It shows us who we are when all the lights go out. We are left with nothing but our own thoughts, our fears, our desires, our regrets, and yet also our deepest peace, our truest visions. Our connection to the unknown. Nyx represents that space, not evil, not chaos, but truth. Deep, quiet, infinite truth. A truth too vast for words, too real for dogma. So religions changed, they cleaned up the myths, they replaced the feminine chaos with masculine order. They made the night something to fear, and the day something to worship. But in doing that, they made us forget. Forget the balance, forget the mother of dreams, forget that darkness is not the opposite of light. It is its cradle, the thing that holds it, protects it, allows it to shine. You cannot see stars in the daylight. They need night. You cannot dream without sleep. You cannot be reborn without first descending into the unknown. This was the wisdom of Nyx. This is the secret, buried in myth. In scripture, in our bones, and this is the truth. They tried to hide, because a world ruled by light alone is a world of illusion. It is blind to itself, it fears the shadows instead of understanding them. And that fear makes it easy to control. But Nyx teaches a different way, a deeper way, a way of mystery and faith in the unseen. A way of surrender and power at once. She asks nothing, but reveals everything. She is the hush before the song, the pause before the word, the space where the soul speaks. If we remembered her, we would live differently. We would rest, we would trust the quiet. We would know that not all answers shine. Some answers shimmer in the dark, hidden in symbols. In dreams. In silence. And they wait, just like she does, for you to see, for you to return, for you to remember. This is not about worship. This is about truth, about balance, about what has always been there, waiting behind the veil. Waiting behind the pages of Genesis. Waiting in the silence between stars. Waiting in you. Nyx is not gone. She is with you in every shadow, in every dream, in every dream, in every breath of night. When you close your eyes, she is there. When you sleep, she is there. When you grieve, when you reflect, when you wonder, she is there. You feel her, don't you? That peace that comes when the world grows still. That space where no one's watching, where you can finally be. That's her, the mother of all things. The keeper of time before time, the goddess they erased. But you remember now, and that memory, that remembrance, that is where it begins again. The restoration of balance, of depth, of the divine. Feminine not above the masculine, but beside it, as it was in the beginning. Light and dark, day and night. Gaia and Uranus. Phanes and Nyx. Creation. Through union. Not domination. This is the secret. The ancient truth, carved in the stars, etched in myth, buried in scripture, and now unfolding before you. Will you go deeper? Will you listen to the night? Will you remember? Let her guide you, not away from God, but deeper into mystery, into the truth beneath the words, the truth before the light, before the fall, before the forgetting. Nyx is calling, and this Timeweek can hear her. She speaks in silence, not in thunder. She waits in dreams. Not in temples. She shows herself not through power but through presence. You've known her all your life. Every time you closed your eyes and felt peace. Every time you dreamed something real. Every time you walked alone under the stars and felt whole. That was her. She doesn't demand belief. She doesn't punish doubt. She simply is like gravity, like the sea, like the night, and yet we buried her, called her evil, called her absence, called her void, but absence of what? Light. Light is not the only truth. Brightness blinds to dot. Ask anyone who's stared too long at the sun. Dot nix. Does not blind dot, she reveals, slowly, gently, gently, fully, in the hush of a whisper. She shows us the parts of ourselves we pretend aren't there. The sadness we bury, the anger we deny, the beauty we forget, the mystery we fear. She brings it all to the surface, not to shame us, but to free us, because the soul cannot breathe in light alone. It needs the night, the stillness, the sacred pause, and now you remember, and the world changes. Because when you remember you remember who you are. Not a product, not a sinner, not a tool for someone else's power, but a soul, a divine mystery in a body. A being born of stars and shadow, a child of both day and night, of God and goddess, of word and silence, and that changes everything. This is why her story was hidden. Because a person who walks with the night is dangerous, not violent, but free. Free from fear, free from shame, free from needing approval, and most of all free from forgetting. The ancients remembered her. They left clues in Orphic hymns, in whispered prayers, in starlit poetry. Even Hesiod, though afraid of her power, wrote of her with awe, because he knew all the gods come from somewhere, and that somewhere is her. Not just darkness, but the womb, the source, the knowing that comes before words, before belief, before division. That is Nyx, and she is still here. She has always been here, in the gaps between thoughts, in the questions religion can't answer, in the ache for something more real than rules and rituals. She is the stillness in your chest when you stop running. She is the dream that stays with you long after waking. She is the part of you that never forgot, even when the world told you to forget, even when the voices told you were wrong to wonder. She held on. She waited for this moment. Right now. Because truth doesn't need to shout, it only needs to be felt, and you're feeling it now. A soft weight, a holy hush, a presence older than anything you've ever been taught. The dark goddess who is never evil, only hidden. She is not the enemy of light. She is its mother. She is not a threat to God. She is the breath of God in the dark. And in that darkness, Thea is healing. There is mystery. There is the divine. The Bible tells a story. But stories can evolve. Interpretations can shift. Truth can be more than one thing. Maybe it's time to look again, to read between the lines, to remember what was taken out, what was silenced, what still lingers behind the veil. The Bible begins with light, but it assumes the darkness. In the beginning, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. There it is, before light, darkness. Nyx. She is not gone. She was first, and she is still speaking to you right now. In the quiet, in the stillness, can you feel her? You've always been able to, every time you sat in silence and heard your own truth rise. Every time you trusted your dream more than the noise of the world. Every time you surrendered, and the peace came. That was her, and she is not finished. She is not done guiding, not done teaching, not done healing what was broken by forgetting. She comes gently. Through shadow. Through breath. Through the knowing that can't be explainedly lived. This is the hidden truth. Buried not just in myths, but in your own memory, in your own story. You are not just a follower of light. You are a child of Nyx too. And she welcomes you, not with judgment, but with open arms, and soft night, and stars, and dreams. She offers you the ancient way, the deeper path, not away from God, but toward wholeness, toward the union of all things, light and dark, heaven and earth, known and unknown. She is the mother of mystery, and you are part of her story. You always have been. You always will be. Let yourself breathe, deep, slow, feel the night around you. Not as emptiness, but as presence, full, alive, listening, because this moment, this awareness, is ancient, older than words, older than books, older than laws. It is the moment where you return to yourself. to the silence beneath the noise, to the being beneath the doing. This is what Nyx offers. Not an escape, but a remembering. She doesn't give you answers, she gives you questions. That awaken the truth already inside you. That's the gift. She trusts you. She doesn't control, she doesn't command. She invites, she opens space and waits, because she knows you are divine. You don't need to be fixed, you just need to be found again, by you, in the night, in the stillness, in the place where no one is watching but her. And there you are. No masks, no titles. No shame. Just presence, just breath, just you. And maybe for the first time in years, you feel it, that peace, that power, that belonging. You didn't earn it, you didn't learn it, you remembered it. That is Nyx. That is her way. She shows you what's already yours. What was never lost, only covered. Beneath fear, beneath noise, beneath history written by those who feared the dark. But the dark doesn't care. It doesn't need revenge. It doesn't demand recognition. It just waits. Like Nyx, patient, eternal, because. Truth doesn't expire, it endures. And the truth is this: you are part of something ancient, something holy, something cosmic. The same night that birthed the stars birthed you. You are not a mistake. You are not small, you are not separate. You are divine, dark and light, sacred, union living prayer. And, if you remember Thatif, you really remember, everything changes. You stop seeking approval, you stop chasing meaning, you become meaning. You stop fearing the silence. You enter it like a temple. You light no candles, you say no words. You just sit, and she sits with you. Nyx, the goddess, who waits at the edge of the world, and in the center of your soul. She doesn't ask you to serve her, she asks you to see her. In the space you've been avoiding. In the grief you've been suppressing. In the wisdom your dreams keep whispering. Because she is not a myth, she is a mirror, and when you look at her you see yourself whole, holy, free. The Bible spoke of light, because the people were in darkness. But not all darkness is absence. Some darkness is presence. Womb. Not tomb. The church made it either or good or evil, saved or damned, but Nyx whispers, both, always both, and more. Always more. She cannot be put in a box. She is the box and the space outside it. She is the whisper you heard when you were young and alone, and wondering if there was more. She is the pause before the clent revelation, the space between your heartbeats, the night before the rising sun. She holds it all, and Nosh holds you. And you remember. You feel the breath come back. Not the breath of duty, the breath of being. Alive, here, now, and you ask the ancient question: what else have I forgotten? What else is buried in the silence? What else waits in the dark? Nyx smiles, because the answer is not in her words. It's in your journey. It's in your walk with the dark. Your willingness to sit in it, to feel it, to befriend it, to stop fighting yourself, to stop fighting yourself, to stop fearing the unknown, to embrace mystery as your mother, to let go. That's the key. Let go. Let go of the fear of not knowing. Let go of the need to be right. Let go of the story that says, you're broken, you're not, you're becoming, you're returning, you're remembering the goddess, who was there before beginnings, before scripture, before sin. She saw you, she held you. She never left, she just waited. Because that's what love does, it waits. And now you're here, and now you remember, and the night is no longer something to escape, it is something to enter, to learn from, to trust.